Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Beatrice Otie. I just came here for a run. So in this video, I'll be talking about the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program. I will tell you about the factors you need to consider. I'll also show you a slide of the website you have to apply. And I'll tell you the fees. I'll tell you the minimum wage, everything you need to know. What should you do? I took my time to come here. What you should do for me now is to subscribe, like, share, click on the thumbs up. Okay, let's get on the video. Thanks. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Beatrice Otie. Thank you. If you are new, go ahead and subscribe. Come on. Okay, I think you have. So let's get on board with the video. So I know earlier I mentioned to subscribe, but some people just, I don't know if they forget or they just want to get what they want to get and then they hop into what they want to do. So that's why I always make sure to subscribe. Like I did tons of research and I asked a couple of friends and they were able to give me some, basic info. And then I also actually took time as well. So I'm an expert in this. I went through it. So I believe I'm able to tell you and what to do and show you like a pathway so you don't make mistakes and you save time and money, which is what I always tell my audience to do. Let's get into it. So Manitoba. It's one of let's get to the little things about Manitoba. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a prairie province, which means it's mostly covered with grassland. Saskatoon is a prairie province. Winnipeg is also a prairie province. And the capital city of Manitoba is Winnipeg. So if you don't know, you know the basic facts now. It really gets cold. I believe one of their highest cold they've ever encountered went up to negative 38 degrees. Canada has four weather conditions. They have summer, they have winter, they have fall, and they have spring. So winter, fall, summer, spring. Manitoba really gets colder, and I just wanted to mention the minimum wage in Manitoba right now is $11.90. Now it's pretty low compared to Ontario, right? Ontario is sitting at $14 right now. But this change was made in October 2020, and those are just the fun facts. Okay, let's get on to the video and things you need to know in regards to provincial nominee program. So Manitoba is actually a very wonderful province. Now that I look back, I'm like, if I actually did my research, which you should do your research, you should conduct your research. And I mean, take time. If you have to take 3 months, if you have to take 4 months, get into it. This is your life. And it's a decision you want to make well, right? It's a decision you want to take your time. Don't let anybody rush you. Don't let anybody push you. It's where you would live if you plan to immigrate forever, except you want to, if you get your Canadian citizen, you want to go back to your country, that's also an option. But this is a place you will live with your family eventually. So you want to sit down and make thorough research. Everybody wants to come to Ontario. I understand Ontario has a lot of job opportunities. However, it's saturated and it's expensive. But if you feel Manitoba is your calling, by all means, and that's why I'm providing you with this invaluable information. Let's get to it. So, provincial nominee pathway. There are 3 pathways. You need to pay attention. If you were doing something else, this is the time to drag your chair closer and listen. So, what are the 3 streams? They have the skilled worker pathway, they have the student pathway, and they have the business stream. For the skilled worker, they have the skilled worker in Manitoba and they have skilled worker overseas. In this video, we'll only be addressing the skilled worker pathway, okay? In this video, it's just the skilled worker pathway. However, I will just mention the basic pathway. On the next video, we'll go into the student pathway, and subsequent video, we'll go into the business stream. So, reiterating, they have the skilled worker pathway in Manitoba and overseas. They have the student pathway, career employment, student entrepreneurial pathway, and internship, graduate internship. And then for the business stream, they have the family investor stream and they have the business entrepreneurial pathway. Although that stream is extremely expensive, but come on, if you have the money, you can dive in. Now, what are certain factors you need to meet? There's a lot of interesting things about Manitoba. So now we will be talking about the skilled worker pathway. Like I told you, this video will only address the skilled worker pathway, okay? Other videos I will address the student pathway and the business stream, but this video is just for the skilled worker pathway. Grab your coffee. You ready? Let's go. So, for the skilled worker pathway, everybody has to meet skills, like skilled worker in Manitoba and overseas, everybody has to meet these 6 factors. There are 6 factors that, and I will leave the link in the description below for you to go to the website. In this video also, I will show you website, like where to apply, like where to submit your expression of interest and all that. Let's finish everything before I don't want to spill some juice that shouldn't be spilled yet. Anyway, so what are the 6 factors? You have the 6 factors that gives you points is your age. The sweet spot is 21 to 45. You get like a lot of points there. 21 to 45. Unlike Express Entry. Express Entry is 21 to 29. Once you hit 30, your points start dropping. But Manitoba, nah. And one thing I wanted to mention, this it's also called MPNP. Manitoba Provincial Nominee is also called MPNP. And before I talk about the factors, you actually submit your information under the Manitoba Provincial Nominee website, which I will show you guys in this video towards the end. And they mark you, like they put you in a grid, right? They put you in a grid. The highly ranked candidate gets an invitation to apply. Do not confuse this with Express Entry, Federal Express Entry. Federal Express Entry is under the IRCC website, and I would put the link in the description. I'll put Manitoba first and I'll put IRCC Federal Express Entry System. So this, you're going to Manitoba, you're going to the Manitoba website itself to apply for a provincial nominee, and they give you an invitation to apply. So it's like Express Entry, but this is within the province only. And then when you get your invitation to apply, then you can go back under the federal system to show those information, and your points will definitely go up because you get 600 points, and definitely you get invitation to apply under the federal system, and then you get approved. I know it's a lot of invitations to apply here and there, but I just wanted to mention MPNP, you go under the Manitoba provincial nominee website itself. Okay, so what are the factors? Sorry about that. So age is a factor. Sweet spot is 21 to 45. Adaptability, are you able to, do you have any connection? Let me tell you something. If you have a family member in Manitoba, please take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. And I will list, they call it close relatives. I will list what a close relative is, what is considered a close relative in Manitoba. I will list them out so you know what those are. Education so right now I'm talking about the basic factors that is required. I will get into skilled worker in Manitoba and skilled worker overseas. These are the basic factors that both pathways need to meet. Your language score, and guess what the cutoff is? CLB4. And I will show you what a CLB4 is as well in this video. CLB4, you know, you don't have to crack your head and get CLB7. As of CLB4, you're already getting points. Your work experience is a factor, and risk assessment. Now, risk assessment, they don't want you to be in a different province. Like, you will still get points, but there's a different stream for it. They like risk assessment. If your relative is outside of Manitoba, they subtract some points. If your work experience is outside, they subtract some points. So that is risk assessment. So it's best to be in Manitoba. Now let's talk about the skilled worker in Manitoba. Skilled worker in Manitoba, you have to show that you've worked in Manitoba. The least work experience is 6 months. 6 months and above. 1 year. And I will show you guys the grid. 1 year, your points keep going up and up and up. So skilled worker, you have to meet age, adaptability, education, language, work experience, and definitely you won't get any risk assessment because you're in Manitoba. So your work experience have to be in Manitoba. If you school in Manitoba, that's a plus. That's a plus. So you meet this as a skilled worker in Manitoba. Now, what of skilled worker overseas? skilled worker overseas, and this video is actually going to be tailored to, like, I want to focus more on skilled worker overseas. If you are living outside of Canada, this is not even provinces, there is a pathway they call the in-demand Manitoba pathway. So they have certain jobs, and the employer, the province, is trying to meet labor shortages. Now, what do you have to show? If you the factors are still, the 6 factors still come under this umbrella. If you are within 21 to 45, you get points. If you have adaptability, you have a strong connection with the employer or a relative, great, that will give you points. Education, your language score, and if you have skilled work, 2 years work experience in the last 5 years. Now, in the in-demand jobs, right, that the Manitoba province are looking for, if you have 2 years work experience in the last 5 years in that in-demand jobs, you are good. Okay, you are good. You will get nominated. Now, what do you have to do after meeting this criteria as a skilled worker overseas? You have to submit an expression of interest under the Manitoba provincial nominee website, the MPNP, and then the highly ranked, and I said it earlier, the highly ranked candidate will be given an invitation to apply. If you get an invitation to apply, congrats! What do you have to do? You have to go back to the federal entry system, submit your information, and hopefully come to Canada. And now there are 2 fun facts, because this video is going to be long. There are 2 fun facts I was going to mention. So first of all, I told you guys, I want to tell you what a close relative means. So when Manitoba gives you points for close relative, up to 200 points, people, up to 200. A close relative is a sister, a brother, a niece or a nephew, an aunt or or your uncle, your father or your mother, your grandmother or your grandfather. So if you have a grandmom or a granddad that is in Manitoba, you better go and start saying hello because you never know. 200 points. So that's a close relative for you. And I also wanted to mention one fun thing about Manitoba. Do you know that you only pay $500 for provincial nominee? 500, not 1,500 like Ontario. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to make this thing a little bit spicy. So yeah, you just pay $500, and it's 60 points. That is the minimum. Like, you don't have to get high CRS score in the express entry pool. However, they give the highly ranked candidates, so it's best. You have to get at least 60 points out of 1,000 points. The maximum point you can get with Manitoba is 1,000. Minimum is 60. However, they give the highly ranked candidates, so please get your scores up. And I wanted to mention one good thing before I take you guys to the slides where I show you the websites to use the points grid with Manitoba. Is they have something called the Exploratory Visit, and this is like a pre-arranged program for MPNP skilled worker candidates overseas. So if you come, like what they do is they allow you to come. Actually, the province allows you to come, so you can check the employment and also check to see if you are able to adapt to the province, if you love the province. Now, there are actually certain criteria you need to meet. I will leave the link in the description, but it's a good thing that the province allows you to come and see the province. Like, this is the thing. And if in the future I become a consultant, I don't know what the future holds, I would want to do something like that. Come and see for yourself. Come and see the standard of living. Would you love it? Would you want to stay here? I know a lot of people are like, I don't need to stay, I just want to get out of Nigeria. But it's actually a good thing if the economy is giving you that as a privilege to come to their economy and see employment and review the place if it's a place you can settle. So thank you so much for watching. Do me want to like, subscribe, and share. Let's get to the other side of the video where I show you guys the website you have to apply to submit your expression of interest, the grid so you can see the points, and the in-demand jobs. Thank you. Let's go. Okay. Just want to make sure it's recording. So I told you guys, welcome back. This is Beatrice Otie. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, click on the notification bell. So we're still on Manitoba provincial nominee. So I'm going to show you where to apply. So you go to, I'll leave the link in the description. You go to the Manitoba website, the Government of Manitoba website. And as you can see, it brings you to Government of Manitoba login. This is when you want to submit an expression of interest. Let's just go back. Let's see. Okay, so this is what it will look like, right? So you have to, so it says step 1, it's pretty easy
to navigate. So it says submit an expression of interest. It's just taking a while for it to load. Please bear with me. Yeah, so if you came to the video like halfway, you just want to get on board and see, you know, how things are, then yeah, you may have to go back and listen to the entire video, because I did mention the 6 factors. So yeah, I just went back so you can see how the original page looks like when you go to the website. So it's going to bring you here. As a new user, if you're an existing user, you just put in your username and login. But if you're a new user, you want to follow this prompt. Make sure that your name, your username, your email is there. You confirm that, and then you click create login, and you should be able to get into the website. So this is where you submit your expression of interest. Please have your documents ready. You can show a birth certificate, you can show your passport, so to prove your age, right? And the in-demand jobs you got if you're doing the skilled worker overseas. And one I wanted to mention, I know I didn't mention it in the factors, is for skilled worker in Manitoba, you have to make sure your employer is under the Parliament of Canada legislation of province in Manitoba. Okay, so I want to make sure that that employer is, it's an employer that is recognized within the province. We don't want any mistakes. So for skilled worker overseas, these are the in-demand occupation. Remember I told you guys skilled worker overseas, they have something going on for you guys, skilled worker occupation. Now, if you look at it, some occupations have been removed, but I just wanted to bring something to your attention. So if the job, so you have 2 years work experience in the last 5 years in human resource management, your CLB has to be 7, okay? It has to be 7. If it's agriculture, it has to be 5. So you have to pay attention to this, okay? And CLB is Canadian language benchmark. Let me actually bring that here so we know what a Canadian language benchmark is, so we can know what is CLB 7. Now, remember, this is the chat. Remember that in Manitoba, provincial nominee is different from express entry. Okay, express entry is when you go to Canada.ca. In Manitoba, you have to apply through the Manitoba website. So when it says CLB 5, so you have to get reading 5, writing 5, listening 5, speaking 5. Okay, and this is for CELPIP. Remember, you can take CELPIP or you can take the IELTS. So let's see a CLB 5 for IELTS. So CLB 5 for IELTS will be 4 in reading, 5 in writing, 5 in listening, and 5 in speaking. If you're taking TEC or TCF, those are the equivalent. So I just showed you guys that. I also wanted to mention, who are those people that are not eligible for Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program? Refugee claimants or individuals involved in federal appeal or removal process is not eligible. Unfortunately, life-in caregivers currently living in Canada are not eligible. Caregivers are people who take care of sick people and all that. So if that is you, unfortunately you're not eligible. Probably they have a pathway for that. Temporary foreign workers currently working and residing in a province other than Manitoba. This is a risk assessment. Please, if you are outside Manitoba, use that province outside Manitoba. Do not use Manitoba, because unfortunately you will not be considered, to subtract a lot of points off of you. Unfortunately, they are not eligible. Spouses of Canadian citizens or permanent residences are not eligible, because they have the spousal pathway you can apply. Individuals who have been refused by the Manitoba provincial nominee within the last 6 years and who are not able to address the reasons for refusals are ineligible. Individuals who have an active immigration application with other immigration provincial program or federal immigration program, which is Quebec, are ineligible. So I just wanted to mention these are the 6 people or the 6 pathways that are ineligible. This is eligibility criteria. I just wanted to chip that in there. And this is the grid. I just wanted to show you guys. Like you see, the maximum point is 1,000, although 60 points is what makes you eligible to apply to submit your expression of interest. And I just wanted to mention, so CLB 8, you get band 25. This is for your first language. If your first language is English, then this is it. If it's French, the highest is 25. So if you can do only English, that's fine. But if you want to add French, the total score you can get for language is 125. That's a lot. Now, if you look at it, 21 to 45, see, 75 points. Remember, this is under Manitoba, and Manitoba give you an invitation to apply. It's different from the federal express entry system. I just wanted to clarify that. Now, for work experience, you can see less than a year is 0, 1 year is 40, 50. However, for people, skilled worker in Manitoba is different. Skilled worker in Manitoba, they do give you points. Skilled worker, if you work 6 months, the minimum is 6 months with an employer. You have to show employer relationship. There is 6 months, but this is just the generic ranking grid. And then for your education, now for skilled worker overseas, remember you have to use ECA education credential assessment. We'll make another video for that. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to make that video, but don't worry about that. I'm going to put that in there. I know I've been saying that. And then your connection, look at close relatives. And I already defined what the close relative is. Please go back and watch the entire video. 200 points, okay? Okay, previous work experience 6 months or more. I'm glad they put that in there. Completed post-secondary, okay. The maximum is 1,000 points. So I believe you were able to get value from this video. Do me want to like, share, subscribe, click on the notification bell for more tips and tricks. I have showed you guys the people who are ineligible. I've showed you guys the in-demand job stream. I've showed you guys where to apply, and I've showed you guys what the Canadian language benchmark is. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, someone mentioned this. Now, if you see SWO, it means skilled worker overseas, okay? And this is the CLB you should get. If you see SWM, it means skilled worker in Manitoba, IES International Education Stream, okay? International experience stream, sorry, not international experience stream, so people who are students, I believe. Okay, so when you see this, just know that, okay, this is in demand for this, and this. This is not available for skilled worker overseas, unfortunately, okay? So you're not confused. Don't want to subscribe. Get you on the next video. Bye.